Back-to-back DJing is a collaborative DJ format where two or more DJs share the same DJ booth and take turns playing tracks, often with one DJ mixing out of the other's track. It allows for a dynamic and exciting performance where the crowd gets to experience a blend of different DJ styles. This is the Corner of Soul.
Hi guys, this is Rubberband and you're listening to The Corner of Soul with my man Bruno Soul on Vow FM 8 o'clock.
Corner of Soul guest mix.
Yeah, what's up? This is DJ Christos, and you're listening to the Corner of Soul with my man Bruno Soul on VOW 88.1. Hey, what's up? This is Vinny Da Vinci right here on the Corner of Soul with my man Brino Soul.
Oh my God!
Corner of Soul exclusive.
Real Soul on Val 88.1. On your radio and online. This is Val 88.1.
Wow, 88.1. Corner of Soul guest mix.
You were good, kid. Real good. Real Soul on Val 88.1. Somebody stop me.
This is the Corner of Soul. What did I say to you earlier? What did I say to you? Didn't I say come 5 o'clock? Kaiser Chiefs will be crowned the Nedbank champions in 2025. Huh? Apa mangam? Yo! And you know, courtesy of these two guys that came through, because just when they came, Chiefs scored the second goal. How beautiful is that? A round of applause to this guy. Mangi, talk to me, guys.
On Vow 88.1.
My guys, shop was it? Come closer to the mic, man. Whoa, man, I'm so ecstatic. Number one, you know, earlier on I said Kaiser Chiefs will win, and a friend of mine said no, there's no way Chiefs will win. And I said to him, 2015, 10 years back, we actually won a trophy. And 10 years later, on this day, on the 10th of May, 2025, we are the Nedbank champions. Careless of you guys. Welcome, brothers.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, shop with it.
Nah.
I think back to factory setting. Rubber bands coming from Loli. Let me introduce you to these guys that are here. They've been blazing us with non-stop grooves. What you have just heard is 100% rubber bands. Who is rubber bands?
Rubberband is like MX Deep, which is me,
Yeah.
Mangi, and Mectonic. Yeah, we just the duo. We do our thing, just contributing to this deep house, you know. Yeah.
No, this is actually, you are no stranger to this show. The last time you were here was last year.
Last year.
How has the journey been so far?
It's been eye-opening, man.
I've
That's all
been
I can
pushing,
say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us more, man.
You know, like we've been having like support from everywhere. You know, like everybody's been like, you know.
I remember,
Yeah.
you know, the following day after you came, I was talking to Matsu and he said to me he's going to try by all means to hook you up with Tulane the Warrior. I don't know if that materialized or not.
It did, but you know, there was some delays,
Yeah.
you know, miscommunications, you know. Yeah, and then, you know.
But now, how? Okay, let's start maybe from the beginning. The last time you were here, probably there were so many prominent producers that you worked with.
Yeah.
Currently, maybe working with somebody.
Currently.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're currently working. I don't know if I should say, but yeah,
You can spill the beans, man.
I will
I mean,
say.
you brought luck to the corner of
Yeah.
soul number one.
Yeah.
Kaiser Chiefs has won, courtesy of you
I
guys.
will
So
say,
you
I
can
will
just spill
say.
the beans.
Currently, we're working on a project with Ghost and Young Malls. Yeah, it's
Young
like-
Malls from Pretoria.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
So we like trying to keep that under the, you know,
Under
radar.
the
carpet.
Yeah,
under the
till it's-
carpet.
yeah,
it will
till it's
materialize.
ready.
Yeah, man. Now let's talk about your music. Because you come across as an international kind of music producers. Let's talk about your style of production. How would you define your style of production?
Our style of production is like, let me say, we take from everywhere,
Yeah.
you know, because it's not, okay, it might sound like international mostly, but we take from this side too, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, from like big cats this side, like all these big cats.
Yeah,
I
local,
can't
it's
even,
fine,
yeah, I can't even mention names because we end the show just me mentioning names.
Yeah.
So, like, we just, let me see. We just, everything we listen to, we just put it in our music.
But
From-
what's your inspiration though?
Inspiration
Yeah.
is like,
Where do
basically
you
it's
where
other
do you
people making music.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, other people making music makes us want to make more music because we hear that and we be like, yeah, we'd like to make something like that or something close to that.
Yeah.
Mind you, you have a background of hip hop, I suppose.
Yeah.
Why did you switch to dance music, so to say?
Okay, I was like, I was like a helping hand for people, you know. I was like helping rappers and all those stuff.
Right.
House has always been my thing. Rubberband's been like from 2012 or something like that.
2011.
2011, yeah. From 2011. So since those times, I've been like working with people, just helping people with their albums, with their EP, with their craft, like as being artists themselves, you know. So that's what took most of my time.
And you, Mac, let's talk about the current production, because you told me that you have an upcoming album which is due anytime soon.
No, it's a mixtape actually.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Don't lie.
Even me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So
Yes, it's
obviously,
No, but as rubber bands though.
no.
Yeah, as
Yeah,
Rubberband,
Rubberband.
we have two upcoming.
Yeah.
We have two upcoming EPs now. It's gonna be like
Clubhouse,
EP,
yeah.
and then it's gonna be the one with Slow Joe.
Yeah,
and
slow
stuff.
throw and stuff.
When is it? When is it due though?
So I think 23rd,
20 yeah,
on the
23rd.
23rd this month, and probably around the same time it's gonna be the same EPs. But we just trying to get rid of all the music we have, you know, so we can make.
So you have
more
a catalog,
music.
I suppose.
Like a lot.
Yes.
It's like a lot. So we just trying to get it out like methodically, you know, just put it out there properly.
Oh, what a lovely selection from Amateur to Lapo. Yes, yes, my man. It's a plus helping up and the coty winning. Let's open the Namachita now. I am a code.
Yeah, Marcos, I want to have, I think, is a coordination.
I mean, I'm gonna see because it's little umkhulu contract, une membership, yonke into ekhona lapha endlini.
I'll totally play it.
Ngabe sidliwe namhlanje ngabe kuyinkinga
Wow.
nje, man.
You know, thank you very much.
Madala,
Man, I have been having a good time since from 2:00. I think when you guys came, you just brought the house down, man. You know, the Corner of Soul is all about this kind of content where we explore house music, because we don't get to listen to house music on radio.
Yes,
But now you guys came and you brought that kind of niche that we want, and make sure that you play it right here on radio, man. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Now, a last one, because we are running out of time. We are just 2 minutes away. Where do we find your music if somebody wants to get hold of your music online?
Mostly like Bandcamp,
Bandcamp.
and
Bandcamp.
Traxsource.
Yeah.
Traxsource, you can find some of Traxsource. I'm not sure about Spotify and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spotify.
Yeah, the Spotify,
Yeah, it will be
Spotify.
available.
Yeah, man.
But we're
So-
trying to hook up a YouTube channel where everybody could like get our music. You know,
But I suppose there's one which is called Experience LP.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it available already?
Yeah, it's
Yes, it
available
is.
On
already.
Bandcamp. Man. And then on socials, how do we get hold of you if we want to
On
follow
Facebook,
Rubberband?
Rubberband is RVPP3R BVND, like in caps, yeah. On all social medias like
On-
Twitter,
Twitter,
and all,
and-
yeah.
My guys, this is not goodbye. We'll hook up again. Obviously, this is home for you. Anytime you want to drop by, feel free to come.
Yes.
This is home.
That's
This is
one.
very home.
Shout out to you guys.
Thanks, man.
There we go. Shout out to Rubber Bands. Find them on socials. They've been here playing good music. We'll see you next Saturday between 2 and 6 o'clock. My name is Brino Soul, the character of Ningiza. Shout out to Amakosi for life.
House music is the best and coolest dance music. It's like Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do.
This is Connor of Soul.